Hello and welcome back to the online video production blog. If you could see how many outtakes I'm doing this week, you would know why I'm sort of looking a little drawn today. Just can't seem to get into the rhythm in this first blog for 2010. Upcoming this year, we've got some exciting plans for this blog. One of the things we really want to do with you this year is we want to talk you through the process of making the new Stuart Media DVD. Jim Stewart, the director here and at Jimboot on Twitter, is going to be doing a new production of our SEO DVD. It's been pretty popular. A lot of people like to buy a copy of it, and it's kind of gives the insights and tips in a bit more detail than what he does in his weekly video blogs. And what we're going to do this year is we're going to take the production process of that and talk you through that process. So you'll see various elements of the editing process, the shooting process, and the encoding process, just to sort of give you a bit of an insight and a bit of the behind the scenes, particularly for those of you who don't do a lot of video production yourself. It might be able to help you out. Today I'm answering a question from Matt, and Matt asked the question, I'm filming an interview, how do I synchronize my two cameras? Now incidentally, he also mentioned that he was recording the audio separately. Now he did this because he wasn't too confident about the microphone techniques. He'd seen the videos that I'd done on it. He knew that he needed to get microphones nice and close to his talent, but his cameras may not have recorded it well. So he did use his iPhone and just an app there to record sound, the basic recording app. So he actually has three sources to record. He has two cameras and the audio source. What I've done here is I've found a graph that kind of illustrates what he's done. We're going to exclude this camera here, okay, for the moment, but he's got a camera filming the host and a camera filming the guest, and then he's got a little recording device in here, his iPhone, hidden away out of view to do it. So what he wanted to know is, how is the best way to synchronize it? How can I make sure that when I'm filming that I can cut between the two of them really, really easily? Now that most video software applications will give you multi-camera plugins, and this is why he needs to know how to synchronize it. Now you can do it manually by eye, by ear, but there's two techniques that I would recommend that you use that work fantastically. The first one is just make sure that probably three techniques actually. The first one is that make sure that you do not stop recording on either of or any of the three recording devices as you're doing your production. Every time you stop one of them, you will have to resynchronize, because obviously at that point we lose time on that device compared to the other devices, or relative to the other devices. So ensure that you record continuously as much as is practical, of course. But realise that you're going to have to resynchronize. So to create a synchronized point, there's two techniques that I use, and that's where the two came from. Two techniques. The first one is if you're using an audio recording device and video recording devices or vision recording devices separately, the most simple and easiest way is to use your hands. Make sure that both cameras are filming a reasonably tight close-up and clap. What you'll see then is that you'll see on the two video recording devices a point where the hand connects, and if possible, if you can pull your hand away quickly as well, it will eliminate the amount of frames where the hands are together. The other thing that will happen at the point of contact is you'll see a spike in audio, which will be on, in Matt's case, it'll be on each of his camera mics. He will be able to, and each of the camera vision, he'll be able to see where the clap happens. But on his iPod or his MP3 recording, he will also be able to see a spike in the audio. The other device, and this device is particularly useful if you're using multi-camera at weddings or events where there's a lot of cameras around, is to use a flash. Now, one of the interesting things about a flash is a flash will only ever appear on one frame of video. So if a flash is deliberately fired off and you can make sure that both cameras are filming whatever is being flashed, what you'll see is that frame of video will only actually appear, that flash will only actually appear on one frame of video. Now, it'll sometimes appear as a bit of a shadowing and all of that sort of stuff. So when I go and do a multi-camera shoot, I'll take a flash. Now, I actually use this one because it's a bit more powerful than most, but any small, point and shoot type camera with a flash will work, and particularly if you can point both cameras at the object that's being flashed, it will ensure that you've got one frame only. The disadvantage of the clap, of course, is that there can be a little bit of between 1 and 2 frames as to where the point of contact is, and the audio spike can be sometimes difficult to actually exactly queue up. But the flash will only ever appear on one frame. So I hope that's helped you, Matt. If you've got any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on Twitter at Cam the Cameraman, or also contact me on my email address, which is cameron@stuartmedia.biz.